how do
you're still considerate?
I'd be like, so, but how do I consider you and not leave myself in the wind at the same time?
Right.
Like, I think that's where I struggle. I struggle with like the balance of you matter. Like I had to learn. Shanice says she's like Asia about money. She's a stickler about money, and it took us a while to get not on the same page, but on the same page. Like it wasn't about like I'm a car person and she's a house person. It was like I wanted to buy a pair of shoes, but you wanted me to save for this trip, but we just never talked about it, and so I bought the shoes. Like,
well, yeah,
the
I
shoes,
mean,
I
but
came
that's
home
the
with
biggest. That is the biggest, number one reason for divorce. It's not infidelity; it's finances. You have to be like, there's certain things you have to be on the same page about, even if you started off the relationship. Like, at some point, you got to be like, listen, I know you want them shoes, but
and that's literally where we are.
But see,
now.
it's hard. Okay, so for me, I feel like you paid a cost to be the boss. So when Carlton was in the NFL and he was making more money than me or doing whatever, I just rolled with whatever his plans were because he was the breadwinner. But now that the roles are flipped to me, then let's roll with. He has a problem rolling with my plans like I rolled with his.
So there's like a hierarchy thing for you.
Well, to me, it's just like whoever's making the most should control the most as far as where we're going.
Oh,
yes. Well, I'm not saying control. Okay, yeah, okay, not control, but should guide.
Yeah,
be the guide, right? The steer of where we're going.
But I think this goes back to your thing of you not feeling like taking care of the household is equitable. Is like and that's not word I want. But you don't feel like you feel like the person that goes to work is more valuable than the person that stays home. That's what it sounds like, and that's how you feel.
That's if you're not doing the things at home you're supposed to. So I wouldn't feel that way if he was working just as hard at home as I am. So like say, for example, we both get up and I'm going to work and I'm doing this and you're getting up and you're taking care of the kids and you're taking them to school and you're getting everyone dressed and da-da-da, and you're teaching them and they're going to the zoo and they're going to the museum and they're doing all these things. If you're doing the same thing I'm doing, then you're just as valuable because my kid's learning, everything's happening. You know what I'm saying? It's like an operational thing. It's daily operation. However, if I'm working and I don't hear anything for a couple of hours, then I go downstairs and you and the baby are asleep for 3 hours. I mean, we're not doing the same thing.
Don't the babies have to take naps?
Yeah, but the parent doesn't have to take a nap because while the babies sleep, you should be cleaning or doing laundry.
I thought it was you nap when they nap. That's what I thought.
Okay, that's infancy.
Oh, I was just listening.
No. After 1 years old, that's not the rule.
I like a good nap though.
Not a 3-hour nap.
Y'all gonna have to call me when I have these children. Y'all gonna have to call me.
If I'm tired, I'm taking a nap with Asher. Like, I don't give a fuck. I'm tired today. He slept like shit last night.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm taking a nap.
I mean,
but to me, then that my person isn't as I don't get to take a nap. So how could you say that you're just as valuable as me?
Because I guess.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that as long as y'all have the same vision.
And if that's the agreement, if that is the agreement, so
some
you're
people
saying
want to have that role where they are not in charge. Some people like not being in charge, and they want to be able to give the person like, okay, you make the decision.
So do you? So is that how it is in your relationship?
No, we struggle.
Okay.
No, we struggle with that because he doesn't like the stay-at-home dad title.
Okay.
So he's just like, I'm just not in a place I want to be right now. But he thinks he should still have the same. I don't know how to call what is it called? Like the same duties, responsibilities, or role. Not responsibility. He still wants the same role he had. Right. He still wants the same role he had when he was the breadwinner. But he doesn't want the responsibilities of where he's actually at right now.
Got you.
That bothers me. I'm not going to do my job and yours.
Okay.
That's craziness. So something's got to give. And if that, like, for example, when we bought the house, I already had in my vision when I moved here to Dallas that in 2 to 3 years I was purchased. Well, no, it was a 5-year plan, but I knew I was going to get the house in 2 to 3 years. I knew I was going to go ahead and get the car outright or do whatever I need to do. Yeah. I knew what I was going to do. No one was going to knock me off that block. I made those plans with or without you, sir. So when I went and got the house and stuff, he was livid. He did not want me. But the thing is, you can't stop somebody who's got their own.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's like we're big planners. Like, we have like 2-year, 3-year, 5-year plans.
Yes.
And you've got to like I am open to changing this plan if you come to me with a plan that is just as good.
Right, and he'll never have a plan. He's like, just
have a plan that's just as good, or you kind of like he and haul and stuff. I'm like, okay, well, this is the plan we're going with.
And I think for me, I'm not a heavy planner, but luckily I married somebody who's a heavy planner. So I have if I have my plans too, like my plan is to go to school when I get out and do it. That's how I operate. She operates differently. So for me,
it's more structured.
But my thing is, as long as there is some sort of like, yes, you make the plan, but let's sit down and talk about your plan, and I'll tell you what I'm comfortable with and what I'm not comfortable with. I feel like there still needs to be some type of collaboration.
Well, yeah,
especially
when
you're married and there's a partnership. Like, you just don't make the plan and say, here's the plan, this is what we doing. No, I want to be a part. I want to be included.
But if you're not a type of person who is a planner, right? So the key word to me, what you just said was, luckily I married.
Yes.
Right? So to me, that's how he should think. Right. Because you don't never have a plan.
But I think
luckily you married me.
I don't have a plan in the areas that she has a plan in. You dig what I'm saying? But I think my thing is, I don't mind following your plan. My thing is, include me in the planning process.
Well, no, at this point, she can't make plans without you.
Right. And I think that's what I'm saying. Now that we're married, like, we have to, like, before I went to school, okay, listen, I'm going to go to school. This is the plan. This is how long I was going to take that last year. I may not be able to work. So how are we going to plan this out? Because you still have to okay that. As a spouse, she still has to say, okay, I'm with your plan. I'm going to support you 100%. Because she could have said, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
And I could have been SOL.
So I have a question for either of you guys, all of you. If your spouse went out and saw a house that they thought fit all of your needs and their needs and everything, just based off of what they know of you and your family or where y'all working to, would you have a problem if they bought the house without telling you?
Yeah.
If they bought it, or if they put in put an offer in.
They put an offer in.
I wouldn't mind putting offer in, because then I can go and see it. But I would have a problem if you purchased it.
I would.
Really? To me, not to me, but I'll go find the statistic on this. But most kept women don't have a say of where they live.
I mean, but that's them, and that's okay for them. But you asked us. For me personally, if Shanice saw, if we did, I want to be a part of everything. Like, we're a team.
But what is like, surprise? No. Here's your new house.
Because it's
fabulous.
Okay, but my thing is, include me. I want to be included. This is a partnership. If you're married, that's your teammate. Like, you don't play the game by yourself. Like, we're in this together. It's a team. Everything for me, and I think this is because, and this also could be what you saw. I saw two people in my family, my mom and dad, no matter what they went through, they worked together as a team. Nobody moved without the other person moving.
Nobody had more say.
So my parents were
and that's what I'm saying. Like, there was no hierarchy. Like, both my parents worked. My dad made more money, but my mom took care of the bills. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there was no hierarchy. It was, they were from what I saw. I don't know. Of course, naturally as you get older, but I feel like I saw an even playing field. So in my mind, when I got married, that's how it was going to be. But my wife didn't see that. So when we got married, it wasn't a struggle, but it was like an adjustment period, getting her to understand, like, we are a team. It's no longer just it's us. So we got to figure out how to maneuver as a couple. So it would bother me if she came home and she was like, I made an offer. I'd be like, bitch, you didn't, can I see the house? Like, I think that would bother me.
You can sway me either way. So when Carlton was playing, if he'd have went and bought a house or something, it wouldn't have bothered me. Okay. Because I'd have been like, I knew he knows where I'm at. You couldn't come home with nothing not dope. So cool, whatever. That wouldn't have bothered me at that point. So I can switch. So say Carlton tomorrow becomes a millionaire. Then we're back on your side of the court.
Okay.
But if not, and I still am who I am, then we on my side of the court. And we're going with my plan, because for me, I'm sorry. I don't see how I can put my money where I don't necessarily want it to all the way be 100. I can't. Right. For me, it's got to be, if I'm going to be the breadwinner or I'm going to be the one pushing, paying the bills, doing whatever, I have to control that. And okay, let's get rid of the word control.
Right.
But I have
from
to steer that.
You wanna steer it.
And I don't believe, like, now that we're in the house and everything, he's fine. He knows now, he gets it. He was just upset because he didn't have
wasn't a
anything to
part
do
of
with
it,
that.
right.
But at the end of the day, this was the best plan. I mean, the
Do you
best
think
decision
that you
for
would-
our family.
Would you do it again?
Yes.
Even
But the
In a
thing,
heartbeat.
I mean, but the thing about your
Wouldn't even blink.
spouse's happiness is if they're not happy, it really affects you.
100%.
Yeah, but
So, like-
I know how to make you happy. So just chill. Sit.
Yeah, but when you kind of give people what they want without asking them, it creates resentment. Because you're even if it's something nice, you're like, you could have asked me, like, I'm not a child.
Definitely can relate to that.
Is that how you
ha-
feel?
I had that happen to me for Mother's Day.
Oh.
What happened? I know. Tell us what happened.
No, it's just like the giving of something that it's like, yeah, that's really nice, but not.
It's not what you wanted.
No, and you wouldn't.
Do you not feel like there's a collaboration?
Heard.
You don't feel heard.
Right.
Or-
Yeah,
okay.
that's a big thing. When people do not feel heard,
That's
that
hard, yeah.
really creates resentment.
It does.
And resentment is another reason why people break up.
Because it builds.
It's like it chips away at the relationship. You know?
So
Instead
I
of
guess
just
my
asking,
question
like,
is-
what you need, what you want.
I was about to say.
Exactly.
Do you feel like that the what you need, what you want doesn't happen because you don't say that's what you want, or is it just the individual? They just lack consideration. They're just inconsiderate
It's the
people.
individual. If you know me, I talk about stuff I like. I mean, I showed you the show. I was like, what shoes should I get?
Yeah.
Like, I talk about things that I like and what I like all the time.
Got
It's really
you.
not that hard to get me something that I like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the person.
Do you ever ask him like, hey, like I've gotten to this point for holidays now. Don't get me nothing that I don't want. So I'm telling you, here's the list of things that I
Yeah,
want.
I make a
You
list.
better pick off this list.
Yeah, no,
Do not go outside this list.
I said, just take me to the mall. I don't want you to. But not for
That's
Mother's Day. I'm
vague.
talking about for Christmas.
Oh, you mean
There's
just
a
in
lot at the
general?
mall.
No,
she said,
right.
take
You
me to the
come
mall.
with me and you buy what I want.
She said a shopping spree.
Oh.
That's what she wanted
Or
to go
just
on a
take me
shopping
to the
spree.
mall and let me choose.
or give me your card. It's whatever.
Okay.
Whatever works
Oh.
for you.
You want to be
It's
able to
fine.
do it.
Right, but I've been that way since my parents stopped giving
Got
me
you.
gifts. They were like, just here's money. Like,
But a lot of
figure it out.
people from what I just seen in my household, like men with money, they don't like to do that because that gives up a certain level of
Control.
control. So they don't like to do that. So they want to be able to.
But that's a pride thing. That's
I
not her
didn't think
problem.
about it as control. Like, I like giving you
gifts.
the gift.
I was about to say, yeah.
So for
Yeah,
me
I
to
don't think
take
that's
you
his
and
thing,
just
though.
yeah, with me to just take you and to just like be like, okay, well, what do you want?
want?
It's kind of like there's no feeling behind.
Do you
it.
want?
Like,
do
Okay,
you,
but this
do you,
is.
Oh, go ahead. I'm
If you
listening.
listen to me, you hear all the things I like. You can be like, here is the brand of what you can pick what you want. You
Gotcha.
understand? Like, I want a Louis
So
Vuitton
again-
bag. Take my black ass to Louis Vuitton. Don't come home with the bag. Take me to the bag.
So the foundation of this is you don't feel heard.
yes.
You don't feel
but what's the difference
attentive.
between giving you Louis Vuitton and taking
because she
you
wants
to
to
buy
pick
it?
the Louis Vuitton.
Well, I guess it's because of my relationship and how it's been that I know that I'm not heard. I feel like I need to come. Like, let's
You just wanna make
smile.
sure.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
like let's
That
make
you get
because
what you
didn't- I
want.
know you don't listen.
Got
so,
you.
like,
Oh yeah, okay.
let me.
So I
Yeah.
mean, I think that being happy, that thinking about your spouse's happiness is listening and being attentive and
Yeah.
paying attention
Oh, it
to the
is.
things that they want or the things that they need and the things
Yeah.
that make them happy.
But you also have to demand your stuff, though.
You do, and I think
You got to be like, listen.
Like,
did
do
hear
you
what I
be
just said?
rude? Because that's like
Yes.
kind of the
Well,
really?
Carlton
Sometimes
said I
you
was
gotta
rude.
be rude.
They-
He said I was
are.
rude the other day.
They-
He definitely
Sometimes
told
you
me
gotta
that.
be
See, but I'm
rude.
trying to look. This is also all. This is about boundaries and having boundaries for yourself. So
That's
I'm
true.
working on that because then I
Yeah.
probably would feel more comfortable. I wouldn't feel rude. I'd feel like I was asserting my boundary.
and I think that's the
But
big
that's what
thing.
it
Like,
is.
I
you
don't
guys,
think it feel like I'm assertive. You
Oh, yeah.
You don't ever know if I have an issue. I mean, you always will know if I have an
Yeah.
issue.
Yeah.
If like what I want, what I don't want. I don't want there to be vague or
but
gray
that's
areas.
and some people are passive aggressive and some people
I
are
hate
not.
that.
But that's not
I hate that.
right.
Right. I
It
mean,
is.
Because when
I
you're
hate
passive,
that.
to me, when you're passive aggressive, That is rude. That's rude
it's
to me.
so rude
because you're acting like I'm supposed to know what you want. I have a million things going on in my head, but now I'm supposed to also act like Miss Cleo and read your mind.
And
instead
you distance yourself. You're distancing yourself.
Yeah.
You're putting up a boundary. You have this mood. You have this attitude.
And that was my fault.
And then I ask you about it, and it's like, oh, you should just already know.
know.
Like,
No,
what are you?